Hey everybody, this is Bridget with Purcell Strong Life, and I just wanted to come to you with a little life update, a little vlog update on my journey with, my son is over 2 years old now, and there were a lot of things going on at the very beginning, and it's been about 2 years since I did like the 6-week postpartum vlog, and we were having some trouble with some foods and everything, and I just wanted to update you. This may be like a two-parter, but so I think where I left off about 6 weeks postpartum, which was about 2 years ago, was we had thrush for my little one, and he was like on a bunch of antibiotics, and that kind of messed with his gut. And it turned out that it wasn't really thrush. It was his tongue was tied, and the tongue couldn't go all the way to the roof of the mouth because it was tied and scrape off the white milk from nursing. And so he had a white tongue. So that kind of cascaded into me eliminating things from my diet. First, it was dairy and wheat. And then I just kind of went down through the list of the common allergens. Nuts, which I'm allergic to tree nuts anyway, but other nuts. I took out wheat, nuts, I took out like fish, all of these different allergens that are very, very common, took them out, and I saw some improvement. Oh, no, dairy and soy, because those are cross-contaminate a ton. And so if you're allergic or intolerant to dairy, there's a good chance you could be allergic or intolerant to soy. There's a lot of cross-contaminating there. And so I gave that up too, yada, yada. This was in like September of 2020 is kind of where I started this whole cascade of diet altering. Saw some improvement. My little boy, he was having trouble. He would refuse me. It was heartbreaking. He would be so hungry, but he would refuse nursing because he was in so much pain, and he would have reflux and he would spit up a ton. He did not sleep well. He woke up so much. And after feeding for maybe 3 minutes or 5 minutes, he would come off and just start screaming like crazy, like he was in a ton of pain. And it just broke my heart. So I just decided I'm gonna do anything so that my baby can eat without pain. And his diapers, he went without pooping for so long. You could just tell his gut was just so off balance, so unhealthy. It could be a myriad of things, but I attribute it to the early antibiotic use, and I did it so frequently per the doctor recommendations. And yeah, so anyway, moving on. So went down this whole diet rabbit trail. I was searching, talked to my doula. What do I do? I think she suggested I look into like a Dr. Sears diet, elimination diet. Now this is after going further down. He had some craniosacral work because he favored one side versus the other when nursing. So it was like hard for his neck to turn a certain way. It was kind of stuck, maybe from coming out of the birth canal, maybe too quick. So got that kind of squared away, got that work done. It helped tremendously. What else? Oh yeah. How long did he go between poops? He went 15 days without pooping. That is just, I mean, I didn't have to do any dirty diapers, but it was a little worrisome, more than just a little. I tried an enema for him, took him to the doctor. I think we might have tried a little bit of prune juice, but honestly, he wouldn't take the bottle very well. And then we also tried, moving back, we also tried bottles, but I was very, very hesitant because I didn't want him to start refusing me nursing because the bottle was so much easier. But he hated the bottle. Thank the Lord. Not that he hated the bottle, but thank the Lord that my fears were relieved when I tried everything, and then I just gave him a bottle, and he tried a few sips, but he just, of my milk, my breast milk, and he still, it wasn't, yeah. So he didn't start just going toward the bottle and just refusing me because of that. Also, I had a very forceful letdown, and so that also would make him choke and swallow too much, and that can aggravate reflux as well. So if you have a forceful letdown and you're dealing with all these other things too, just all of those things can just avalanche, basically. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. My doula. Sorry, this is like rabbit trail central. My doula suggested maybe look into Dr. Sears' diet. I researched it. I started doing it in November of 2020, and that was basically cutting out a ton of food. I basically ate maybe 10 different foods, and everything is cooked from scratch. You don't go out to eat. You don't do anything. Nothing packaged, nothing. Lamb, turkey, rice, and pears. That was the main things. I think zucchinis were in there, maybe yellow squash. Yeah. There are some other, maybe like spinach and different things. Oh, olive oil, salt. Those are the foods. So salt is one, pepper is another, rice, turkey, lamb. Lamb is super expensive. Yeah, those different things that I just mentioned. So I went down this trail. I saw a huge improvement. Like, I was starving just because my body wasn't used to such little carbs. I wasn't starving. I didn't starve, but it felt just like I was hungry all the time. And I saw such wonderful, wonderful improvement that it just kept spurring me on to just keep doing it because my baby wasn't in as much pain. Oh my goodness, it felt so good. So then from the Dr. Sears diet, you start adding one food at a time, and you test it out and you see it. If it doesn't work, you got to wait a while for it to clear out of your milk, clear out of your system. So that was hard. That's the hard part about food sensitivities and intolerances when you're breastfeeding, because it takes a little bit for it to get out of your system. And you don't know if they're reacting to something that you ate just now, a little while ago, 2 days ago, whatever. It's very hard to pinpoint. And you are just, you're being a little crazy, and you're just looking in their diapers to see if they're mucousy diapers. Oh, he also had mucousy diapers when he did. A lot of diaper rashes, a lot of eczema. That was the other thing. Tons of eczema, just all over. Tons of eczema. So he's about 3 months at this point when I start the Dr. Sears diet. 3 and a half, something like that. So he's not crawling around. He's not getting other things off the floor, dirt or whatever, or his brother's food. He's not getting any of that, only me. So I at least can control that. Go through that. Went through like a huge spell when I tried Ripple milk, pea protein. He had the worst reaction ever. Just refused me, screaming. It was awful. I was traumatized. Yeah, so anyway, so we introduce different foods, yada yada. About 7 months, we start doing foods for him, and we started out very slow. We would gain some momentum. We would take him to the GI doctor, the allergy doctor. The allergy doctor, no allergies showed up, but I mean, honestly, allergies, depending on what you're eating, can skew the results. You could take the test like every day for a week, and it would tell you different things that you'd be allergic to. So, but we did it. We tried it. It gave us nothing. We took him to the GI doctor. Since I was already on an elimination diet, since I was already taking out the common allergens, I was already doing most of the hard work that they would have told me to do anyway. It wasn't beneficial going. I'm glad we went to rule it out, but it wasn't super beneficial. It basically checked a box saying, well, we went, we told them, and we went several times, and they kept saying, well, just keep doing what you're doing. Okay, I will just do all the research and I will figure it out by myself. What was the lifesaver? So if you have, my face was so big. All right, if you have a baby with intolerances or allergies or sensitivities and you're nursing, the group that helped me so much in those early times was the TED Mamas group on Facebook, but also there's a blog, TED Mamas, TED, Total Elimination Diet. It was so pivotal for me, I had support. They helped me troubleshoot things. They helped with alternatives of medicines when baby was sick. That was weird. They just were so helpful. So if you have problems, that's a great resource. Okay. Lovely, lovely, lovely people. When you're researching these things at the dead of night, in the middle of the night, because your baby is screaming and you're trying to nurse them and they are just not calming down, or they just nurse forever, and if you pop them off and try to lay them down, they start screaming. Like this, you need help. And these people were there. Okay, enough of a plug there. But what happened was like May of 2021, he started getting a place, like an eczema place on his cheek, and then he must have scratched it or something. He was like 9 months old, and 9 or 10 months old, and he got it infected. Okay, got it infected. By this time, we switched to pediatricians. We didn't go back. We went more natural. Yeah. So tried topical things. It didn't work. And I noticed that if he wouldn't eat like certain foods, and if I didn't eat certain foods, it would die down, but it would flare back again, but we couldn't get it cleared. So I'm sorry, this is taking forever. This is such a long story and I'm condensing it, but so we were on this topical forever. It was like antifungal, I think. And it helped, but he would scratch it, and we would eat things that we weren't supposed to, like apples or carrots or something, and it would flare again. And I think it was like a candida flare. So any starches, any sugars, it just would flare it. Started taking foods away from him. Started taking foods away from me through the summer of 2021. We would start feeding him more of a certain food that we thought was safe, because we would keep taking away foods that we thought were not safe. And he ended up with no foods. So he was strictly being breastfed at like 11 and 12 months of age. And it was so draining. So draining. It was so hard taking care of a baby plus a 3-year-old nonstop. It was crazy. And trying to research and figure this stuff out, it was nuts. So, took everything out of his diet, tried to figure out just through me what he could eat. And then we started grapefruit seed extract drops. We tried bone broth, lamb bone broth. We tried all of these things, okay? And then I started building him back with a probiotic and grapefruit seed extract, and that seemed to help. Moving along a little bit, kept adding food. You know, you take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps, 1 step, that sort of thing. Was making progress, and then we would just get horrible backsliding. I'm like, what are we doing wrong? It feels like we're stacking things on uneven ground, and just the cards are just crumbling. So still working this through, gaining some foods, not gaining some foods. Spring of 2022, we're seeing some improvement. Slowly but surely, but it's not working. Thankfully, someone in the Ted Mamas group had mentioned something to me, so I reached back out to her, and she said, yeah, I did mention doing that, but I actually suggest doing this. She said, my baby has been on this for 5 months. This specific diet has been on this for 5 months, and we have seen great progress. And I was just like, yes, please tell me all the details. So anyway, it's been a long journey. Part 2 will be that next diet, but it has been a super long journey. I started getting some symptoms spring of 2022, and I'm like, I have been fine this whole time. And what? Before that, I went to see a chiropractor / nutritionist, and he helped put me on some probiotics, some nutrition and vitamin protocol, and that was helping. But something started cascading. It's a mystery. The body is a mystery. So it was helping, and then we kind of got a roadblock. Let me just tell you, being on restricted diets during holidays, during travel, during anything is just super stressful. So my heart goes out to you if you have a special diet. If your health requires you to be on a special diet, my heart goes out to you, because sometimes it is a nightmare, and it's just hard. It is just hard. And even if you are stubborn and strong-willed, it will test you like none other. So, yeah. So that is my part 1 vlog update, my diet update of what we did. Yeah. I will see you on the next one. Okay? Bye.